Next presenter is going to be David Rose from First Second Mortgage Company. He occupies the residential mortgage seat in our chapter. David has been in the mortgage industry for over 22 years. Prior to that, he was an owner-operator of a TCBY and Mrs. Fields franchise. He was also a certified personal trainer for the National Academy of Sports Medicine. He is also a working partner of MOA Wings with Carlos Acevedo. David has two grown children, Justin and Michael, and currently lives in Honolulu with Veronica and their three cats, Remy, Amber, and Olivia. His hobbies and interests include playing any sport, going to the gym, reading, hiking, and having some cocktails. His burning desire is to be a public servant, perhaps run for some position where he can make a difference. Something no one knows about him is that he loves to clean and that he is easily distracted and irritated by noises. His key to success is to put his borrower's needs above his own. He does not let the income he may make on a loan dictate the time and energy he devotes to any borrower in order to meet their needs. Please join me in welcoming David Rose, our featured speaker for today.
Thank you, Jim. I think you kind of highlighted some stuff there pretty well. I just need Carlos to help share the screen with me, and then I'll get started. I don't know if I can see it. How's that working? Oh, there we go. All right, so I'll do a little wave when I need to. You good? Oh, I just want to get Jim on the screen so I know how much time I got. Okay, so who is First Second Mortgage? We're a direct lender, and we were established in 1985. So was that 36 years ago? We're direct lender servicer for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So as I always say in the meetings, what does that mean? That means we take in the application, we process it, we underwrite it, we close it, and after closing, we continue to service you. So you can be a customer for life. So for 30 years, you can be around that long, you'll be talking to me about your loan questions. Our corporate office is in Bergen County, New Jersey, but we now have offices around New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Florida, and of course here in Hawaii. We are licensed to originate loans in 15 other states. I won't list them all. You can always ask me. And the key thing is that we're family owned and operated. So that's the owner of our company, Andy Potta Sr. He founded it 36 years ago and has still there, still working, still doing loans. He's got a tremendous work ethic like nothing I've ever seen. So often the last person to leave the office. His son has then since taken over most of the operations, a very intelligent lawyer, and Eddie graduated from UW as well, so right, George W. So, along with him. But what's big about First Second Mortgage is unity. We've had a lot of employees that have been there for 20 plus years, and some since the inception of the company. So I'm constantly talking and working with the same people over and over again, which creates, a good synergy. They know the way I work. I know the way they work. I know things will get done, which leads me to have confidence that once loans are in the system, if I know I can get them done, I know I'll see them through. They're not going to be just lingering around. I mean, every now and then something does happen where a loan gets a last minute, something doesn't work, but generally I do see them through closing. And the understanding. So the process gets a little shaken, documents come in at different times. I know that I have people there that will work with me and understand that the process gets jumbled a little bit, and they'll work with me. And they have the patience to do so because we've been doing it for so long. So all these types of things are key in getting a loan process done because it's stress, it's pressure, and there's a lot of moving parts. So to have all those things is huge. And trust and leadership. As I've said, the owner's been there for 36 years. One day I'll tell the story how I started there. But I trust him. He's always got my back. He's got the back of the whole company, and he'll do anything to make it successful, including each and every loan that comes in, as well as that's been passed on to his son. So we can get on the phone, we can see how we can make things work, and as long as it's in compliance, they'll do everything they can to make it work. And then we have mutual success. So everybody's success in the company is equal. So more loans I can bring in, it's better for everybody to have jobs. The better they do their jobs, the more loans I can close. So it's a mutual success. So that's about First Second Mortgage. But want to talk about why mortgages, the psychology of them. Why do even some of the brightest people I deal with, highly educated, successful people, come to me with basic questions of, can I even do this? And I'm kind of, of course you can do this. Look at the basic numbers, like, yeah, but it's overwhelming. There's a lot of documents to be asked for. So if you're going to start this process, if you're going to talk to people about it, tell them to be prepared. There's nothing quite as gone down to the bottom line intrusive as a mortgage. We're going to ask everything. It seems like we ask every possible question we can of a borrower. Where'd that money come from? How long you been at your work? What happened on your credit report? Are you married? All ethnicity, like every kind of question you can ask somebody is asked in a mortgage, because you're lending a lot of money and we want to make sure it's done successfully. It's a big commitment for people to have a mortgage. So they get stressed, they go from renting to for living for free at parents. Suddenly they have this big payment they have to make every month. You can't just move. So you're stuck. So they get stressed and they really want to make sure that they can handle it. And then it's the largest financial decision most people will make in a lifetime. So it's key they get it right. Do they get the right interest rate? Do they take the right term of the loan? Should they have gone to 30 instead of 15 or 20? Like every part of the decision has to be well thought out, has to be discussed, has to be analyzed, and the numbers need to be given to the borrower so they can understand what it's going to be once they're done and they close. Sorry, that's good. So what do I do when I talk to my borrowers? I tell them about first, second mortgage, of course, and I tell them we've been 40 years of operation. This is all we do. We're not we generally don't like to broker, but we do if we have to. So we like to keep things in-house. All we do is lend. We don't savings and loan, no checking, nothing like that. All we do is mortgages for almost 40 years now. Personally, I've been doing it for 20 plus years. So I try to make people feel comfortable that not only do I have the experience that I've handled almost every possible transaction, but the company has as well. And then I advise the borrowers, we're customers for life. So this tends to make people feel really good that once the loan closes, I'm going to show them how they set up their automatic payment. I'm going to be there in a year when they had a question about escrow or any sort of question that might come along in the mortgage process. They can call me about it, and it often happens, and they feel good about it. I'll discuss the whole process, what's going to happen before closing. And then, as I said earlier, I'll discuss everything that's going to happen after closing. I'm sorry. Yeah. So then what do we do when the process comes in? So discuss is in big caps because we're really going to take my time. I'm going to go over their income. How do they get it? Self-employed, W-2, 1099, Social Security, all the different sources of their income. We're going to see how we can use it, maximize it to their advantage, and see that I'm getting the most of it for my loan process to make sure they qualify the easiest for the loan they're looking for. And then we're going to discuss down payment options. So could it be from their savings or checking, their 401ks, a gift, possibly from the equity of the property. However they're going to get it, we need to know how much they have available before they can even really start to look at houses, because that will determine how much they can afford even before I do their income. So then we're going to discuss payment terms and affordability. So do they want to, where are they in their stage of their life? They want to do a 30-year, minimize their payments, have access to extra cash flow for debts, and affordability. So, can they afford it? So I'm going to skip that one to the end. Debt ratios. I'm going to show them how we calculate it. It seems easy, but it's, people have different moving parts. Some people have child support. That gets calculated differently. Get child support, give child support. Can change it how, if they have a car and it's almost done on a term loan, I can maybe get rid of that on their debt ratio. I'll work on their credit, see what I can fix. So everything is really to see how their debt is calculated, and then I can figure out what they can qualify for when they're making a purchase. And then the difference between qualifying for a mortgage and being comfortable with the payment. This is important because people, what can I afford? What can I do? And a lot of times some people make a lot more money than they think, but they don't realize that we use the gross income, not what they have at the end of the month income. So they can afford a lot more than they think they can, but are they comfortable making that payment? So yeah, you might be able to afford the $700,000 house, $5,000 a month in payment. And you can do it. I can get you that, but really you want to keep your payment at $3,000. So how much of a house should you be looking for? Here in Hawaii, the taxes are low, so it's really not a big number that moves that. But back in the other states in the Northeast, taxes on properties are 12, 18, 20, 25,000 a month. So that's a big number in terms of what you can afford monthly. So those types of questions. So I'll go through this whole process with them, take my time, really try to tee it up so that when they're ready to purchase, this is a lot more on the purchase side. Purchase, they're really comfortable, like they can afford this, they know what to expect when the payment comes. Oh, I think I have one more step. Oh yeah, I'll be quick on this one. So the paperwork can seem overwhelming, so I try to make them a clear list of stuff. So that once received, they can easily go through it. I let them know it's fully automated. I'm there to answer questions when they're on the computer because that's when I'm gonna have to be there. I answer any further paperwork is requested. I'll follow up with them right away. My big thing is following up right away with borrowers to make sure that their questions answered when they're working on it. I advise them who's going to be contacting them throughout the process. I let them know that the more accurate and complete the information at the beginning will help speed the process. And I keep borrowers informed about current rates and market conditions. So if I see the rates or markets moving, I'll text them, email them, call them, say, look, we need to get on this because things are going to change soon. And then I'm always prepared for the tough conversations if things change along the process. They give me documents that make it harder for them to qualify or have a different outcome that they expected. So those are the hard parts, but I'm there to answer those questions. I don't shy away from talking to my customers about the good and the bad stuff. So that's me, and I have 2 quotes. Should I get my quotes now? I guess. Or at the end.
Finish it up.
Finish it up. Okay. So I mentioned patience in the thing. So I think that's one of my biggest attributes. So I try to emphasize it. So patience is the common acceptance that things can happen in a different order than when you have in mind. Often happens in the mortgage stuff. You think everything's going fine. Somebody loses overtime. Somebody has to deposit strange money. Things happen. We need to go back and re-explain and start over. So hopefully I have the patience and bring that to my clients to let them know that look, we'll get this done. So, and the other one is patience is which solves all problems. So when doing this process, you have to have patience in the mortgage business because things are always changing. So, yeah, patience, close your loan.